Yes, sir. Like in terms of how best can we use an equalizer to add a better relationship between front and back, because we know that left and right, fine, we can pan, we can do something with reverb as well, but how much better with equalizer can we have a good front and back relationship so that the mix doesn't just sound flat, but sort of has a good front and a back as well, sir.
It's a very difficult thing to achieve depth just by using equalizer. Just to give you an example, let's say if we take any sound, you can do this experiment with white noise as well. Let me create a MIDI track. For this example, I'll choose an instrument. So I'm generating a white noise by pressing a key. So let's say if you take an EQ, I'll just roll off the high frequencies.
Okay.
So you can see as I'm rolling off the high frequencies,
Yes.
you will get an impression that the sound is getting further away from you.
Mm.
Let's suppose you have two instruments, playing in the same high frequency region, and if you want one element to be upfront and one element to be back in the mix, so the element which you want to be at the back, you can turn down the high frequencies with a high shelf, or you can
Mhm.
do a dynamic ducking with a side chain thing, right? So whenever, let's suppose, there is a hi hat which is being played and there is a synth which is being played,
Mhm.
if you want that your hi-hat should supersede the sound of synth in that particular high region, then you can duck the synth high frequencies with a multiband, taking side chain from the hi-hat. So hi-hat will always be upfront, and your synth will take a back step in that particular frequency range, and you can apply the same thing between any elements dynamically or statically, like whichever way you want. So that is the way to create depth, to create front and back relationship by using an equalizer. And
Okay.
if you want to do a static kind of thing, then you can use any equalizer, right? Even EQ8 would do the job. But if you want to do a dynamic thing, then you can do it by Fab Filter's multiband, any kind of multiband compressor which has a sidechain trigger. Even Fab Filter Pro Q has sidechain, like dynamic band kind of a thing. To showcase it, you can take your EQ and you can create a band, right click, you have make dynamic option, and then we get that range. You can set the range, like what is the maximum amount of reduction that you want, like maximum 6 dB. And then you can choose your sidechain from the device place. Let's say I want to do it with वीडियो में आगे बढ़ने से पहले एक इम्पॉर्टेंट इन्फॉर्मेशन, अगर आप इस तरह के सेशन अटेंड करना चाहते हो तो डिस्क्रिप्शन में एक फॉर्म दिया गया है, उससे फिल करके आप अपने व्यूज हमें शेयर कर सकते हैं. Vocals in that particular range. So whenever the vocal will be triggered, you will get, you will have to enable this button as well. So this bar here, it will show you the signal of voice vocal track. So whenever the vocal track will cross this fader, this threshold slider, then the yellow line would start coming down, and it will happen automatically, right? Because it's a dynamic relationship.